Is this scary?
13 Facts about Michael Jackson's Ghosts. In 1983, Michael Jackson released one of the most iconic music videos of all time. Co-written and directed by John Landis. With special effects by Rick Baker. And a guest appearance by the voice of Vincent Price, Michael Jackson's video for Thriller became legendary. So what could the king of pop ever do to top it? How about a 40-minute long short film, music video co-written by Stephen King and directed by special effects legend Stan Winston, utilizing cutting-edge effects such as early-era CGI and motion capture technology to create a moonwalking Michael Jackson skeleton? The film tells the story of the Maestro, played by Michael Jackson, who faces a torch-wielding mob seeking to kick him out of Normalville, because they think he's a threat to the local children, a plot that has uncomfortable echoes of real-life scandals. One of the most expensive music videos ever made, Michael Jackson's Ghosts suffered from a troubled production and ultimately fell into obscurity, so many have not seen in its entirety. Here are the 13 facts about Michael Jackson's short film Ghosts. 13. Behind-the-scenes problems nearly shut Ghosts down. In 1993, Michael Jackson was working on a short film to coincide with the release of the Addams Family Values movie that year. Called Is It Scary?, the film would have been 12 to 15 minutes long and was going to tie in with the song of the same name on the soundtrack of the movie. However, behind-the-scenes contract disputes meant the song didn't make it onto the soundtrack. Some false allegations leveled against Jackson at the time also played a role. The short film remained unfinished for 3 years until Jackson revived it as Ghosts. 12. Stephen King wrote the first version. Back in 1993, Stephen King wrote the first version of the short film that became Michael Jackson's Ghosts. He worked on it with Mick Garris, writer of movies like Hocus Pocus and frequent collaborator on many film adaptations of King's stories. The idea was that Garris would direct the video, but by the time filming started back up in 1996, Garris was busy with a television miniseries based on King's The Shining. 11. Michael Jackson couldn't just let it lie. While the allegations brought against Michael Jackson in 1993 reportedly shut down production of Is It Scary?, they may have also proved instrumental in getting the final version made. According to Mike Smallcombe, author of the book Making Michael, Inside the Career of Michael Jackson, in the light of the events of 1993, which stopped production of the original in the first place, finishing Ghosts became even more important to Michael. The storyline of the short film already involved a mob of angry townspeople persecuting an outsider character for being weird and different, but the revised version added a new role. The mayor, who led the torch and pitchfork mob. This character may have been modeled on Tom Sneddon, the Santa Barbara district attorney who prosecuted Michael Jackson in 1993 and again in 2005. 10. Stan Winston directed Ghosts. Mick Garris was unable to resume directing duties on Michael Jackson's Ghosts when filming picked back up in 1996, so he recommended special effects legend Stan Winston for the job. In addition to creating special effects for some of the most famous movie franchises of the 1980s, The Terminator, Aliens, Predator, Winston had some previous directing experience, notably the 1988 film Pumpkinhead. Jackson and Winston also already knew each other. As Jackson said in a making-of documentary on VH1, "I've known Stan Winston since I was 16 years old." In 1978, Stan Winston had done special effects for The Wiz, a Wizard of Oz adaptation in which Michael Jackson played the Scarecrow. 9. Michael Jackson plays multiple roles in Ghosts. When Michael Jackson called Stan Winston to see if he would be willing to direct the short film, Winston agreed with only one condition. He wanted Michael Jackson to play all the major roles. According to the website for the Stan Winston School of Character Arts, Winston said, "I wanted Michael to play the haunted house guy, but also the mayor of the town, and an evil demon who comes in at one point." In the end, Jackson plays not only the Maestro, the character who represents himself, but also the mayor, ghoul versions of both the Maestro and the mayor, and even a dancing skeleton brought to life through early motion capture technology. 8. Transforming Michael Jackson into the mayor took hours of makeup. While Michael Jackson's Ghosts features cutting-edge special effects, for 1996, one of the most laborious goes largely unnoticed. Since Jackson plays all the leading roles in the film, he had to spend more than 3 hours in the makeup chair to portray the mayor, a heavy-set man in his 50s. In one of the video's bravura sequences, the spirit of the maestro enters the mayor's form and forces him to dance, requiring Jackson to not only to choreograph, but also to dance under heavy makeup and costuming, performing the sequence as if his own body is trying to resist him. 7. Ghosts features a moonwalking skeleton. When the townspeople storm the maestro's house in Ghosts, the maestro challenges the mayor to a scaring contest, which results in, among other things, the maestro removing all his skin and dancing as a skeleton. This sequence was generated using motion capture technology and a live cast of Michael Jackson's head, which was used to create the cranium digitally. The dancing computer-generated frame perfectly mimics Jackson's moves, dancing as only Michael can dance. 6. The dance sequences boast state-of-the-art effects. During the confrontation between the townspeople and the maestro summons a family of moldering ghouls who join him in an elaborate dance number. For this sequence, in which the ghouls dance on the walls and ceiling of the ballroom, Stan Winston and his effects team combined wire work with an enormous green screen room that turned on a giant gimbal. As a result, the dancers appear to go up the walls and even dance upside down on the ceiling. 5. Ghosts cost around $15 million, much of it from Michael's pocket. Shooting for the final version of Michael Jackson's Ghosts took place over 6 weeks in a hangar at Van Nuys Airport in Los Angeles. The project, originally planned as a 12 to 15-minute music video, became a 40-minute short film that cost around $15 million, most of it financed by Jackson. Everything was shot new, using none of the footage from the 1993 version. According to Mike Smallcombe, the author of Making Michael, Jackson's record label expressed concerns that the project served no purpose. Dan Beck, an executive at Epic Records, reportedly said, "This was a situation where Michael rolled on with something, and we couldn't stop him, it was happening." 4. Ghosts was the longest music video ever made at the time. While Michael Jackson saw Ghosts as a short film rather than a music video, reportedly going so far as to forbid the word video on set, the Guinness Book of World Records thought differently. In 2002, the 40-minute film earned the title of longest music video ever made. 3. Ghosts debuted with another Stephen King film. In 1996, Ghosts got a limited theatrical release, where it played on a double bill with the Stephen King film Thinner, directed by Tom Holland. It also showed at the Cannes Film Festival in 1997 and won the Bob Fosse Award for Best Choreography in a Music Video. 2. More songs were added to Ghosts after the fact. The elaborate and award-winning choreography in Michael Jackson's Ghosts was originally set to just one song, Too Bad. The song, Ghosts, from which the film takes its title, would instead be played in its entirety over the closing credits. However, after completing filming, Stan Winston and music director Brad Buxer decided they needed more music in the dance sequences. "We talked Michael into what seemed an obvious choice. Why not use Is It Scary and Ghosts in a film about ghosts?" Buxer said. Over an intense 3-day weekend, Buxer and several other people who worked on the video reportedly changed the tempo of the 2 new songs to match them to the dance sequences that had already been shot. Jackson later claimed that he was satisfied with the original version of the video, which only contained the song, Too Bad. 1. These days, Ghosts isn't easy to find. In spite of its limited theatrical run and big name associations, not many people saw Ghosts. It was offered to television networks as a 1-hour special, but most didn't bite. These days, it's tough to find a copy. It was released on VHS in the UK, Europe, and Japan in a collector's edition box set with Jackson's album Blood on the Dance Floor, but it never received a domestic DVD release. An Amazon search turns up an imported video CD and not much else. However, you can still find the full version online if you know where to look. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Subscribe for more Michael Jackson videos.